I'm Clay Newman. This is the Zoo Review.
Today we're going to be talking about one of the few animals that is both super delicious and goofy as hell, the Rio Grande wild turkey. Physically, they are pretty similar to all the other wild turkeys found here in America. They are big-ass birds. They stand at 4 feet tall. The males can weigh upwards of 20 pounds. The females, usually about half that weight. Rio Grande wild turkey have between 5,000 and 6,000 feathers, though unfortunately none of them are on their gross skin head. They molt 5 different times in their life before settling on an array of bronze, copper, gold, red, and green, though on the hens, it kinda just looks brown. They can fly, and quickly too, but only in short distances, and frankly, it's clunky. The males of this species are a mess. They're thick as fuck, which does not go along with their gross bald head. It's got a floppy dick coming out the nose and a weird diseased scrotum hanging from the throat. Males and some females have a beard, which isn't a beard so much as it is a nasty-ass clump of follicles growing out the middle of their chest for no reason, sometimes getting as long as 10 inches. They got a boring-ass mating dance, and honestly, the only reason they get any points in this category is because the males are called gobblers. That's pretty adorable. In this category, I think this might be the lowest one yet. I'm giving you 3 points, you gross-ass turkey. As with most birds, just about everything out there will eat their young. Raccoons and foxes are the main culprits, but all sorts of mammals, birds, reptiles, they love themselves a good turkey omelet every once in a while. They are quick animals. They can fly over 50 miles per hour, and they can run over 25, which apparently I found out faster than my mom's golf cart can go. Much like their Canadian geese neighbors, they don't give a fuck about cars, often causing traffic incidents. Wild turkeys have a spur on the back of their legs, which in males grows longer and spiky. Kind of badass, but they only really use it to fight other males when they're trying to impress them lady turkeys. They're not going to do too much damage to a human being. They're pretty easy to scare off, but they will chase the shit out of your child every once in a while. That's kind of fun. In this category, they get a score of 6 points. Unlike domestic turkeys, which are incredibly stupid to the point where they've been known to drown when it's raining, not because it floods, but because they just sort of stare up at the sky with their mouth open, shocked and confused like a Trump supporter watching fireworks. Unlike those, the wild turkeys are pretty clever. They're opportunistic foragers that can become knowledgeable of a wide array of geology. They eat all different kinds of food, from grass to bugs, seeds, leaves, all sorts of plant life. Because they're so big, they do need a lot more water than their food provides, and so you can often find wild turkeys hanging around rivers, creeks, lakes, all sorts of bodies of water. They're too goddamn lazy to feed their babies, so they nest on the ground. That's a stupid bird move, as we know, but it makes it so the babies can run around and catch insects on their own, and then, after a couple weeks, they fly up into roosts in trees where birds fucking belong. They don't migrate, but in the parts of this country that have actual seasons, wild turkeys will have a summer and a winter roost. That's pretty fancy. They're social creatures, and when winter rolls around, sometimes they'll have flocks that are greater than 1,000 in numbers. In this category, they're not complete idiots. They're gonna get a score of 9 points. The Rio Grande wild turkey has a special skill that it shares with every other wild turkey here in the US. It is motherfucking American. Its gross bald head will actually change colors depending on its level of excitement and emotion. It'll switch from red to white to blue like a nasty yet patriotic mood ring. Now, technically, Benjamin Franklin never pushed to have it be our national animal, but Benjamin Franklin did say this in a letter to his daughter. For my own part, I wish the bald eagle had not been chosen representative of our country. He is a bird of bad moral character. He does not get his living honestly. You may have seen him perched on some dead tree near the river where, too lazy to fish for himself, he watches the labor of the fishing hawk. And when that diligent bird has at length taken a fish and is bearing it to his nest for the support of his mate and young ones, the bald eagle pursues him and takes it from him. With all this injustice, he is never in good case, but like those among men who live by sharping and robbing, he is generally poor and often very lousy. Besides, he is a rank coward. The little kingbird, not bigger than a sparrow, attacks him boldly and drives him out of the district. He is therefore by no means a proper emblem for the brave and honest Cincinnati of America, who have driven all the kingbirds from our country. I am, on this account, not displeased that the figure is not known as bald eagle, but looks more like a turkey. For the truth, the turkey is, in comparison, a much more respectable bird, and withal a true original native of America. He is besides, though a little vain and silly, a bird of courage, and would not hesitate to attack a grenadier of British Guards who should presume to invade his farmyard with a red coat on. Well, it was important enough to get Benjamin Franklin to stop tying shit to kites for a little bit, so it must mean something. In terms of special skills, I'm giving him 12 points. In terms of accents, I'm giving that 2 points. The Rio Grande wild turkey is officially listed as least concerned. As with many other animals in the 1800s, white man went a little murder happy, and things were looking pretty grim in the 1930s. But conservation finally started happening, and now they're doing okay. They're native through Texas and the Great Plains, and they've also been introduced in the West Coast states for hunting purposes, but they took off pretty well here. They are susceptible to diseases, and they need a pretty big range. Sometimes these turkeys have a territory of over 20 miles. The fact of the matter is, though, they're super delicious, they're American, and they're not going anywhere. As of right now, they are common in every state except for Hawaii and Alaska, bringing us down again. In this category, I'm going to give them 15 points. Well, the scores are in, and the Rio Grande Wild Turkey got a score of 45 points. That's not very high, Rio Grande Wild Turkey. I believe that's only 23rd place. Look, I'm not here to body shame anybody, but wild turkeys, you're ugly, and you should feel bad about it. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. If you want to see some comedy that isn't necessarily about animals, there are a lot of live shows happening on the interwebs. That's kind of exciting. Listen to a couple fight in the background because they forgot they were unmuted. If you want to see my shows, just check out my Instagram page at clay.newman. Thank you guys again and have a lovely rest of your day.